Hey everyone, Happy New Year. I'm hoping that the connection is okay out here. I'm out the back of the property with my feet in the creek. I wanted to do this live this morning from another spot, but my mobile data just wasn't strong enough. Hey, let me know if you can hear me okay. I brought you out to the creek, so breathe in the beauty of this spot and the sound of the water, and let it soothe you and let it carry you into this new year. So there's two messages. I woke up this morning, hey everybody, Happy New Year. I woke up this morning with these two images. Oh great, beautiful, with these two images really strongly in my mind. And messages usually come through for me as complete images, so I just want to share them with you. The first one is in response to people saying, what is this year going to be like? So there's such a diversity of expectations. When I was watching some New Year's things last night, what I realized and what I felt really strongly is that there is a whole section of humanity that breathed a big sigh of relief at midnight because they felt into, it's over. There was almost this really powerful rejoicing from them and their feeling of the fact that it's over. And then of course you've got those of us who know that it's not over. But what do we need to know? Because when you're in that category, for want of a better word, you might be wondering, so are things going to get worse? Are things going to get better? What is this year going to be like for me? And so in response to that, I had this image come in of somebody standing on, not with one leg on two ships, but on water, but almost just like a platform, two platforms on water, and standing with one leg on one platform and the other leg on the other platform. And this year, for anybody like that, for anybody not fully aligned, now it doesn't really, I suppose, matter what you're fully aligned with. If you're fully aligned with the narrative, you're going to be on one of those floats. If you're living fully aligned with your own truth and your own sense of self, you're going to be on the other float. This year is going to be particularly difficult for people that are still living their lives with one leg on both floats. So, feeling one way but acting another. Any living that is not aligned with your values, and whatever they are, it doesn't matter what mine are, it doesn't matter what somebody else's are. Any living, any choices that are not aligned with your values, this year is going to completely separate the boys from the men, the women from the girls. It's going to literally separate you. It's going to feel like a tearing in two, a breaking in half, because so in a sense this year there can be an ease for those of us who are very clearly aligned with our values and have spent 2021 making choices based on those values, making decisions based on those values, surrounding ourselves with other people who are living in alignment with whatever their values are. Believe it or not, this is less about what particular choices you're making and more about, are they aligned with who you are? And this year, you're not going to be able to, in the way that you could in 21, get away with living out of alignment with your values and not feel like it's almost like a separation apart. It's like you're just not going to be able to do it anymore because it's going to become so physically uncomfortable and ultimately physically impossible. So that's the first thing that came through. The second thing that came through was a vision of a backpack. And this was the message that came through with that visual. You have everything you need in your toolkit, right? So think of your backpack. Imagine that we each have one on, you have one, I have one, and it's our toolkit. And we often forget they're there. And what it reminded me of is, do you remember that movie Slumdog Millionaire? If you've seen it, you're going to know exactly what I mean. If you haven't seen it, basically, the main character in Slumdog Millionaire ends up on, a kind of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire show. And every question, the answer to every question reminds him of an incident in his life. And when he thinks back to it, then he knows the answer. And that was the second message. You're forgetting that everything you need to navigate this time, you've already lived it. You already have a lived experience somewhere in each one of our lives. It will be unique, it will look unique, but the take-home lessons will be really similar. You will have an example of where you stood up for yourself and went against the group. You will have an example of where you trusted yourself and it was spot on. You will have an example of your power. You will have an example of your courage. It doesn't matter whether you have images coming to you from young childhood, from primary school, from high school. It doesn't matter how long ago it was. But there are things in your backpack that are spot on and specific for you, right? The lesson someone taught you, the thing that someone once said to you, the thing you once read in a book, the take-home message from your favourite children's book, your favourite children's movie, the thing you learnt somewhere in life. And then don't forget your own skills. You've already, hey Frank, I'm having a lot of trouble speaking today where I'm having to hold the iPad. It's almost like having trouble, I'm having to keep my hands still. You already have what you need. So this year, 2022, you are going to navigate this year beautifully because you are going to start to experience an ease if you have already been making choices based on your values. You've already done a lot of the hard work. You're already living at the hands of the fallout of a lot of that. Where it will be difficult, now that's not to say what the outside's going to look like. The outside's not going to be a piece of cake, but you know what? We don't need it to anymore. We are too advanced for that. We are in mastery, right? This is mastery class. You are mastering your ability to self-navigate, to self-soothe, to have your own insights, to have your own awareness, and you do not need the outside to look a particular way in order for you to feel a particular way. This is why you're becoming so powerful, because you're not needing anything to stop, end, change, be different in order for you to go, I'm not playing, I'm not falling for this. I know my power, I know my strength, I know my courage, I know my ability. I don't need you to show it to me. I don't need you to I don't need you to know it. You are literally going to walk through 2022 with the message of, I don't need you to know it because I know it. I don't need you to show it to me because I'm showing it to myself. And because you've already lost people, you might have lost a job, you might be living somewhere different, because you have already stood in that courage of making choices based on your values. Not because they're easy, not because they're comfortable, not based on someone else's values. And so you're already on one of the barges, floats. You're on one of the floats. The people who have not yet, the people who say, well, I hate it, but I check in anyway. Well, I don't want to wear the thing, but I wear it. Well, I don't want to get the thing, when I'm definitely not getting the third one, but I also can't leave my job. All of that, that's who it's going to become difficult for, because the two floats are going to be moving down different streams. and it's going to get so uncomfortable that they, or you, if this is still you, like there's no judgment in that, are going to have to choose one, because it's going to become a physical impossibility to straddle both, because they're going to move that far apart that you are literally not going to be able to keep one foot in both camps. And remember your backpack. Remember Slumdog Millionaire. Everything you need to know is in there. You have experienced things throughout this lifetime, but you have experienced things through other lifetimes, and you're going to have access to them now. Just know that you have not been sent on a journey and forsaken. You have not been sent to a desolate place where you have no ability to reach back up, in, out, forward, whatever, and reconnect to not only the universal wisdom that's available, but to your own that you already know from another time, from another place. So know too that when you reach into that backpack, you're going to find the stuff in there that you packed for yourself before this journey. Before you set off on this one, you knew what you were going to need, and Source, God, whatever it is that you call that overriding energy, that universal love, knew what you were going to need. And that is why you've had the experiences that you've had. All of it is perfect, was perfect, is perfect, will continue to be perfect. You are going to, if you aren't already, you're going to look back very soon and you're going to go, oh my God, it was all perfect. That person left at exactly the right time. That person came in at exactly the right time. That was offered at exactly the right time. That thing left at exactly the right time. What you're learning, what's available, who you know, who you're surrounding yourself with, it's all part of it. No one has forsaken you, and you have not forsaken yourself, okay? You know everything you need for this time. You've learnt it all before. It's the mastery now, okay? It's the mastery. Okay, let me have a look and see if there's any questions, comments. Worried about this thing overheating, so I'm trying to keep it out of the sun. Hi everyone, Happy New Year. I'm really glad you can be here. I'm so heavily shadow banned. I was going to make this a video and then I thought, no, it probably needs to be a live in order for it to reach anybody, and then I'm just going to trust that it reaches whoever it's meant to. I'm just loving water right now. Is anybody else really drawn to water right now? I just feel like being in it and near it all day, every day. The other insight I had earlier today, let me know if you two are being really drawn to nature. This started with me about probably 10 or so years ago, that I had a real calling to nature and a real connection, and now because I live in it, I'm just literally in it every day. Like almost every time I'm in my house, there's like a part of me that goes, why are you inside? And what drew me up here, what got me really connected was when I moved up here, what got me really connected was the trees. And I realized this morning, if the trees are really calling you, it's because you need assistance with your connection with your higher self, with Source, with God. You need assistance with that. The trees will help you with that. Messages from your higher self, from connection. If you're really drawn to water right now, that water is going to help you connect to your emotions. That is what the water will hold wisdom of your emotions. And if you're really connected to the earth right now, like you just want to have your feet on the grass, you want to lie on it, you want to dig in the soil, you want to plant things, then that is Mother Nature, that is the earth, letting you know that you're needing help with connecting with the wisdom. Right? The earth holds the wisdom, the water helps us with emotions, the trees help us with our connection. That's what came to me this morning. See if that resonates with you. September 27, so happy you did. I never see you posting more. Yeah, I'm really, really, really heavily shadow banned. So, you know, if you like what I usually post, I suggest just kind of come here on purpose, because it's probably not going to show up in your feed. So come here on purpose and you know, share, interact. That probably will help it get back into your algorithm. Lee, saltwater. Okay, yeah. So, yeah. I would think emotions and see whether that resonates. Resonates with me a lot. Yep, great. Happy New Year, Catherine. Pleasure. Lovely to have you here. Hey, Naomi. Yeah, any comments, any questions? I won't keep it too long. I'll probably go in a minute and submerge myself a bit more in this water. I hope you can hear it, and I hope it's helping to soothe you. And if you've come in late, just I will post this, and you can go back to the and re-listen to the 2 messages. How are you feeling about 2022? I love even numbers, so I always get more excited about the even numbers than the odd. I don't know why. And yet other people have said to me they're not really looking forward to 2022. It's too many 2s. It's interesting how much of that might be programming that has no relevance at all, and other things that is us already in tune with knowing what's, you know, then it might be a challenging year. But it's not going to stop being challenging on the outside. The shit fuckery is not done. It's nowhere near done. But, thought I heard something. But, an animal, not sort of federal police. The shit fuckery is nowhere near done. However, it's going to have less and less effect. It just will have less and less effect on you, on us, because we are, I promise you, we're at mastery level. As much as you might be feeling wobbly, you just would not be here if you weren't ready. You just would not be here. You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have put your hand up. And as insane as it might sound to you that you did put your hand up for this time, I promise you, you did. You would not be one of the ones questioning if you weren't specifically here for your own growth, for your own expansion, for your own evolution, but also to assist with the collective going through that. You just wouldn't be here. Okay, all right, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your New Year's Day. Once again, Happy New Year. Just know that we are already completely different to what we were going into 2020. If we went into 2020 completely unaware and with our eyes shut, by now we are at the point where, and if you need this as a sign, consider this a sign, there is nothing to wait for on the outside. You can activate now, you can stand up now, you can speak out now, you can speak your truth, you can live your truth, you can live an aligned life with folks that are also living an aligned life now. There is nothing to wait for, there is no one to wait on. You are here and you are ready, and it is time for you to master your internal world so that you get more and more confident at navigating your external world, regardless of what's playing out on that. All right. Much love, everybody, and I'll see you again soon.